This one got blasted in this back corner. Whenever I cut this out, the roof is going to want to drop. I have a fucking monster project here. This one got blasted in this back corner. We pretty much had to gut the interior because pretty much all of this on the inside and outside, this whole corner is going to get replaced. It's going to be a massive puzzle. I have tons of parts right here. It's part of the corner piece that goes inside of there. So I will get into the details of how all these parts go, how this puzzle goes together as it comes along. I'm going to first make a few pulls and roughly pull all this damage out, because anything else that might have shifted that's connected to the damaged parts could also be shifted. So you want to pull out the old damage first. If you don't, you end up having fitment problems whenever you start fitting all the new parts up. So I'm going to make a couple pulls on this, bring all this out, and then I will start cutting it apart. I'll be on this one for a while, so stay tuned. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a hold of this to grab it and pull it. I think I'm going to have to do multiple pulls. I'm going to have to get a hook in here or something and roughly start bringing it out. Then as it starts to come out, I'll be able to get some different grips on it in different ways. But being so smashed up, it's hard to even figure out how to grab it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut a window in here. I might have to cut a couple windows just to get more access in order to get different ways to grab this thing. So I'm just going to cut this chunk out right here. Alright, well I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start dissecting this some more. I'm going to get the quarter panel off and start cutting some of this out. I might have to make a couple more pulls once I get it opened up some more, but I'm going to start actually cutting it apart now. So I am at the point now, I have to cut this last piece out, which is going to be this piece right here. And whenever I cut this out, the roof is going to want to drop because it's not going to have any support there. So I have to come up with a way to support the roof. I think I'm going to try this right here. I'm going to put this prop rod in there. And then I'm also going to lock the vice grips on it just to make sure it doesn't move. Now I have this back panel piece that goes across the under backside right here. This is going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to go ahead and start dissecting the back of this and get this piece removed. Well, it is time to start piecing this puzzle together. There's a lot of parts to this. I'm going to start right here, and I'll start fitting on the rear back panel, and I'm going to start just piecing it together piece by piece. So I am slowly getting this one all fit together. I got these inner pieces in this corner right here all fit together, and the back panel and the taillights and everything fits good. Liftgate seals good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stuff back off, and I'm gonna get the inside stuff welded in, and then once that's welded and finished, then I can start fitting more parts on and build it out from there. But that way, whenever I get the inner stuff welded in, I won't have to pull everything back apart again. I could have the inside parts finished and then work out from there. So I'm gonna pull this back apart. All right, I'm going to walk you guys through where I'm at on this puzzle right now. I have this inner stuff in, the two inner pieces here, and this rear body panel. The outer taillight panel is screwed in place, ready to weld. This piece is just sitting on here right now. I gotta fit some more stuff up still. Now I have this piece that goes inside of here, and then also the pocket that goes on the outside, something like that. There's three pieces to the wheelhouse. It's gonna go up in there. Then I have this center floor piece. These pieces I'll put on last, and each of the side corner pieces. But now I am going to go ahead and start making my cuts on my quarter panel and start getting the panel fit up. And then once I know that's fitting good, I'll get back into those other pieces. So the GM procedures say I could section this anywhere in this area. They want me to actually do a 1-inch overlap. So I have the car cut right at this line, and I'm going up 1 inch from there, 25 millimeters, and I'm gonna cut this panel right there. And then I'll do a similar thing on this side as well. And it's gonna have a 1-inch overlap whenever I put it up on there. I have this outer panel roughly fit up. My door gap looks really good. It lines up with the taillight pocket just like it's supposed to. The main thing I wanted to know is that it's lining up with this inner panel correctly, and it looks like it sits up to it perfectly. So I'm gonna lift it back off, and I'm gonna get that inside panel welded in, and then I'll also start getting these two pieces welded in as well. And then I'll get back to the quarter panel later. So I have this quarter panel roughly sitting on there so I could fit up my wheelhouse, make sure it's sitting like it's supposed to. And I have it all fit together now, all three pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna weld those three pieces in, and then I will lift the quarter back off, and then I will be at the point where I start doing my final fitment on the quarter panel and getting it prepped out and welded on. got this quarter panel all fit up. Everything's fitting nicely. My gaps are looking good on the back. Gaps are looking good at the door. It sits on there very nice. So I'm gonna lift it back off. It gets a coat of sealer right through the gas pocket right here that keeps fumes. If you don't seal that, it can get fumes in the car whenever you fuel up. It'll get a gas smell inside the car. So I gotta put sealer there. And then I will put this back on permanently and get it welded on. So I have most of this welded together. All I have left over here is these two seams. I'm gonna wait till I get it down off the rack to weld those, just because it's easier to get to. It's up so high. But before I get it down, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this back part, which basically consists of this center floor piece and the two corner pieces. So I'm gonna get these prepped out to weld. To get it all welded in, then I'll get it down off the rack and weld those last two seams. So this is what happens when you're half asleep on a Monday morning. I was lowering this lift down, not paying attention, lowered the door right on it, destroyed the stool, but it actually did not hurt the door. I got lucky. So whenever I spot welded this wheelhouse right here, it got a little bit of a choppiness from when it squeezed the two panels together. So I'm just putting a thin coat of glaze across this just to kind of smooth it out. So here where all of the window urethane goes all the way around, they want epoxy primer on top of any of the bare metal. So I'm gonna tape that off. Therefore, when I prime this, after it's all primed and done, I'll peel the tape off and then I could go back and epoxy where the window urethane goes. So this is the epoxy primer. I'm gonna put it over all the bare metal where the window urethane goes.